Good morning everyone and welcome to the channel. Today I'll be doing a little DIY project to build a track light system to hang off the ceiling so we can light up this wall of plants that we have growing in our bedroom. We initially had a lamp facing down on these and then we extended this trellis higher up towards the ceiling. The lights can no longer reach these plants above, so we decided to do a track light system. Initially looking online, it's pretty hard to find track lights that are made for grow lamps or grow lights. I really like the Sandsy lights and I've been using those for a while, and everything I use in this I'll link down in the description. But all the track lights that you find on Amazon or online, they're either really expensive or they hold a different type of bulb, like the GU10 bulbs I believe they are, and they just don't really make grow lights for those. You need the more standard twist on type bulbs. So everything I got was bought online and is relatively cheap. In the end, I'll throw a total on the end of the screen, and during this I'll show you how much each of the projects cost. So for the first thing, I have this Lithonia track light system. As you can see, there is 3 lights that come with that, or 3 light sockets, and then the track that actually comes with no cord. So for the cord, because we want to run it on the ceiling down into this outlet down here so we can plug into a timer, I bought this 15-foot power cord for H tracks. This is pretty cheap as well, and this should be able to slide just into the end of the Lithonia lighting track, and this will then be allowed to plug directly into the wall. And I have a couple of light timers that I can plug that directly into so that it will run for about 8 hours or so. Especially now that it's coming up to winter time, this is a lot more important because we are getting some light from this window, but as we initially have this here and took away the first lamp, I saw that some of the leaves are starting to die pretty quickly, so I decided to do this as fast as possible. And like I talked about, I also have these Sandsy lights. I really like these lights. These are, I have to double check, but I think these might be the 30-watt ones. You can see they're pretty nice. They're all LED, and they have the normal plug that you find for the light sockets, and these should fit directly into these. So I'll be doing a little bit of a time lapse, a little just DIY. Probably won't be talking too much while I'm actually setting up, but I will put some overlays if there's anything important. So let's get into it. I do also want to just quickly mention what type of plants that we have over on this grow wall and that will be benefiting from the track light. So first we have this begonia, and you can see that it's starting to not get as much light as it should. This is similar to an angel wing, but not quite. I can't remember the actual species, but I'll try to find it and throw it up on the screen. Then of course we have the Monstera deliciosa, and a lot of the aerial roots and everything look super nice, but now that we're getting into the winter, we won't have as much light, so it'll start to fade back a little bit. We have a couple little rehab plants back here, so those aren't really in focus. And then we have this, is it aglaonema? I can't quite remember, but I'll throw that up on screen as well, and that wants to have a little bit more light as well. And then as far as the actual wall, we have the Monstera Ansonii, and the leaves, you can see the ones that were close to the lamp before. They're huge, super fenestrated, really nice leaves. And then the other plant that we have is this philodendron micans that was growing quite well, and they're starting to go up the wall as well, but again, starting to lose a little bit of light, so that's why we're doing this H-track lighting on the ceiling. And actually, before we start, I'll go over just the parts that this came with. So I have these 2 Sandsy bulbs again that I bought, and these I think will go on the 2 kind of outer lights on the track, where one will face on the philodendron micans and the Ansonii. The other one will face a little bit more towards the right side, which will then face the the Monstera deliciosa. And then I have this smaller leftover Sandsy light that I'll also be kind of pointing in the middle between them, so it just provides a little bit more light, but I think just the 2 bulbs should be fine. And then this is the cord that I ordered. It's actually pretty nice. It has a little switch here too, so if you want just quick access to turn it on and off, and you don't have a light switch attached to the outlet, you can, but you can also unplug this directly as well. And then this just essentially slides right into the end of this, and I'll show you here in a second. Super easy. There's not really much that you have to do. It's just attaching it to the ceiling that is the hardest part. And then the actual track lights, you see here, they actually have this insert, but I noticed right away that the balls might be a little bit too big and doesn't fit in it nicely. It won't actually screw all the way in. Or at all. So I had to take that off. You just pop that off. It just held on some clips pretty easily. And then this screws in nicely, and it sticks out a little bit, but these are pretty directional lights, so you shouldn't really have to worry about them, being too diffuse without this covering over the light. And then just to pop these off, like I said, there's a little lip there, and you can kind of just move around the edge, and it just pops off like that. Just little clips, little metal clips that hold it in. So I'll do that for the last one as well. And then the actual track again. So here you go. This is a 4-foot track, and I popped off. It comes with these 2 plastic ends, but because the cord is going to pop in one end, I took that one off. And if you kind of look down the side here, you can see, so one side of the H track has a single copper strip, and then the other side has 2 copper strips, and the lights just line up with that. So you have 1 and 2 there, so it actually will go this way. And while you can slide these on, it's a little bit difficult to do it, and these lights are actually on a spring system, so you can pull this up and you can see it moves. So really all you have to do is just push this onto here. It's kind of hard to show on camera. Push this onto here, lift up a little bit, and then just twist. And then if you look down the middle, see if I can get it. Yeah, you can see down the middle now we have the wire ends touching to those copper strips, and you can move this up and down the track as you please. And to take it off, same idea, you just pop this up and twist it off. So super nice. And now I'll get to actually attaching it to the ceiling. It came with a couple of screws, but my plan is just to use a stud finder on the ceiling and see if I can find some studs in the ceiling and use the screws that it came with directly into that stud, and that should hold it up. And it's not too heavy. I think everything probably weighs 5 pounds or so, so shouldn't have an issue with these wall anchors either, or these wall anchors if you want to use those. Yeah, let's do it. All right, it took me a minute because it's pretty difficult. If you had someone else with you, it's probably gonna be a lot easier, but I mean, it took less than 5 minutes in total. So now let's try to get the lights on and test it out. Okay, it's all set up. Now I just have the plug. Let's give it a try. There we go. Yeah, it looks great. Now I'm just gonna turn it off and move some stuff around and have it aim at the plants a little bit better. Then the final step is just to attach the cord to the outlet through a timer plug. And I just have this one from BN Link. Again, down in the description, I'll link it. And it's just a manual timer, so I just have this go out for about 8 hours a day or so. And we'll see how that does in the beginning. Again, thanks for tuning in, guys. This has been a super easy build. Took me less than probably 20 minutes or so to actually complete. It's probably 10 times cheaper than the set that you could buy online. It's going to do just as good of a job. Plenty of room up here to put lots of plants on the side wall and on the main wall. let me know below if you like this project, if you think there's anything that I can tweak. I'm currently going to set this timer to be probably 7 a.m. to noon, and then start back up at 3 to about 6, because that's around the times that I'm home. I like to see the lights on, I like to check on the plants. And those couple hours during midday, it's just not going to get enough sun to really make it that much different. So I'll have that on kind of a set off schedule. If you like the project, hit that like button. If you didn't, let me know in the comments why. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more projects like this in the future. Stay curious.